how to describe this one. Zardoz, Zardoz, is this giant flying head rock thing that looks over two different species of people. One that's known as the Brutals, and then the other ones that are these immortal beings that live in a vortex that are bored. So it kind of, let's just put it this way, it gives these Brutals gives them weapons in which they go around and sabotage and cause chaos. Sean Connery is one of them. I'm thinking, this is right after Diamonds Are Forever. Why is he doing this? Well, he wanted to reinvent himself since he really couldn't find any work, so he went with the most obtuse, obscure movie possible. And I'm like, you can't make this up. This is just such an unusual movie, but you have to see it. Because we get to see him with a mustache, long hair, and thigh-high boots, which works with the post-apocalyptic sci-fi fantasy setting, where he is a brutal, the one that just goes around like eliminating and causing havoc for fun, but he's actually more intelligent and less brutal than some of his compatriots. So they start scanning, so then when he gets up to this bored utopia people, they start to it's like actually they're scanning his brains, finding out about his life, and we eventually see what's going on. We have all these people that are immortal, where the punishment for committing some crime is just artificially aging them. And I'm like, this is such a really unique movie. It's like they even went as far as to create some other type of races of beings, of beings, including those that are very desperate for water or something like that, I guess just for their own amusement. And I'm thinking to myself, what is going on here? But at the same time, it is giving a sense of what happens of a people that are bored in utopia and can't eliminate them, that can't krill themselves. And I guess you can call it class warfare, done in such a unique way. I don't know, it's just like, what the heck. And then there's also a floating head, which there's this guy named Arthur, I forgot, that's 300 years old and has the most fake mustache and soul patch I've ever seen. It looks like they just took a Sharpie and went, and I'm like, what? So I guess it's also a thing of like false idols, false gods. I'm trying to think, like saying, hey, this is it's like saying, we're doing this in your name or whatever. So it's one of those type of movies. But then when Conroy's there, where they have him, the British dubbed a red nappy, I'm just like, what the heck is this? I mean, visually it looks nice, especially when they're inside like a chamber, when they're scanning his memory and finding everything out. So we get a lot of ladies in here, rather attractive ladies no less, and I'm like, okay, this is actually really nice. Some of them are, bare-breasted. We get to see some actual natural beauty and not just enhancements, if you will. So that's always, pleasurable to see. But at the same time, we also get some Adonis looking guys, it's like, okay, so meanwhile he's being examined and he knows what's happening, but he gets a lot of stuff put into his mind, like knowledge and literature and everything else, including the Wizard of Oz, where you take where you remove the, then W-I, and then of, and you get Zardoz. So it's like it was this guy that was just pretending to be omnipotent, but he's really not, and he himself is getting bored, and the people that are up in this vortex are bored as well, which ultimately relies on when their bored utopia gets demolished, they actually welcome death as the Brutals just eliminate them. So I'm like, geez, that was just such such a good way. So obviously, we get some nice visuals in here. We get some really good synthesizer music. Um, my word. This was originally the director wanted to adapt Lord of the Rings. I think it was just too big or something like that. I forgot the reason. So Conroy himself, it's cool to see him in more of a, I guess you can call it more of like a, not like a secret agent, but in the future where he's still has a lot of power about him, but where he's, I guess, less is more. That works really dang well in this one. I'm like, okay, this is cool. I'm liking what I see here, because these people are, and he's investigating this culture where they bake bread and eat it as fun. So, and they have a meeting, and like a round table to discuss certain things about him and everything else. I'm like, okay, so yeah, obviously he's playing a part in it, but it's just, I'm sorry, this movie is just so unique, and especially with the opening line, guns are good, the penis is bad. What the heck? Ultimately, in the end, yes, he does survive. He gets older and he spends some time with a lady named Consuela. They have a son. Obviously they do pass on, but Connery would go on to certainly star a more prominent role. So yeah, with everything being said about Zardoz, what some people not like, just how off the wall and unusual it is. Just everything going on, like creation, of like creating other. I don't want casts, I guess would be the word, caste. People, for their own amusement, living forever and everything else in this vortex that was created, and just how, like, what's happening. Just read on Wikipedia and just look up the information. So yeah, even with all that, I actually recommend that you do watch Zardoz, just to see, just if anything, for Sean Connery with a mustache.